Heidi ho, good neighbor. Across the pond and over the way, and here we are
I
again.
literally just walked in the door 5 minutes before this started.
Well, you don't look like you're perspiring, so has it cooled down?
No, it was actually pretty warm today.
Well, good.
Yeah, this is how to turn a 30-minute trek into a 90-minute journey. I seem to be doing a lot of that stuff on this trip.
This weekend, I turned what I thought was going to be about a 45-minute project into about 4 hours. It was great.
What'd you do?
So so our TV is mounted above a fireplace, and on either side there are bookshelves. And on the bottom of the bookshelves, it kind of like extends out a foot, and then there's a cabinet. And so, as my daughter has grown, she has collected more crap. And it used to be just the left side was like her games and books and crap. And then the right side is where we kept like the router, the IoT crap, just sort of things that she shouldn't be smashing around. But over time, that has been compacted. And then like the bottom half was her crap. And so this weekend, I was getting everything out of that shelf and moving it down to my basement, like directly below. And there's already a hole in the floor. And so I went out and I thought, oh, all I got to do is just run an Ethernet cable down from the router, which is in the garage, or the fiber connection, which is in the garage, down into the basement. It should be easy. Just move everything and bada bing, bada boom. Should just be nice and easy. Well, I get everything down in the basement, and the Ethernet cord from my garage to where I need it to be is approximately that short. That short.
Oh man.
I mean, we were talking less than 6 inches.
Yeah.
And I'm like, son of a bitch. And the Ethernet cord that they provided from the whatever, Phioptics is the company. It's like it's not special, but it's real tiny. Like it's a real round one. And I could not find one of those, so I just bought a normal Ethernet cord, which would not fit through the hole through the cinder block.
Yeah.
So then I had to pull that out, drill that through, then run the cable, which involved going to the store, getting a cable, and then I just bought a new switch. I bought like a 24 port, like rack mountable thing, because I'm like, now space doesn't matter.
Right.
And got it all wired.
I was sure you were going to say you were cutting a cable and tipping it, with the Ethernet ends, whatever.
Yeah. No. And then that resulted in some running around and but it's all, it's all done. It took.
Nice.
Yeah, but now if I want to hardwire other things in my house, I now have the Ethernet ports to actually do that. So, which, if we do the addition on our house, which we're waiting to hear back on, I will be running a lot of Ethernet cable. So,
Cool.
Yeah. That's just a good way to kill a Saturday afternoon. So.
Oh man.
Yeah. Anyways, how was your weekend?
I have no idea.
Yeah, good.
I can't even remember it. What is today? It's Monday, right?
It's January 3rd, 2020.
Right. So, I don't know. How was my weekend? I don't know. It was fine, I guess. We've been keeping it local for the last few days.
Okay. Well, that was good. Speaking of things that would be local if you were back home, not these things, but this is from the same company. There's going to be a Samsung Unpacked event on Wednesday, and Microsoft is going to be there, and all sorts of stuff. And my kid is home, which I just forgot about until she started screaming, because why wouldn't she? Maybe she's excited about Unpacked. Maybe that's it.
Probably not.
Probably, yeah.
This Note thing is kind of interesting to me. They're offering tremendous resale values on certain phones. So if you have a newer, or not even that new, an iPhone 10 or newer, a Samsung Galaxy 9 or newer, a Pixel 3 or newer, you get like $600 on a trade-in for this thing. I only paid $500 for my Pixel 3 XL. I mean, it kind of makes you consider it, but the issue I have is that I've heard that the camera on this thing isn't that great, and it's the sensors haven't changed since the S7, and I don't know, but I'm curious.
I mean, I think the Microsoft integration that is rumored du jour is pretty well. It sounds pretty obvious on the cover, right? If they're doing S Pen stuff, just built it into the Microsoft productivity apps, then maybe throw in that launcher, and there you go.
I doubt we're going to see the launcher, from Samsung, but I obviously the pen is kind of the big deal with the Note. Microsoft has been into the ink stuff for 18 years now. I mean, 17 or whatever it is. It's a natural fit. So yeah, I mean, Apple or Microsoft has appeared on stage at Apple events, has talked about Office
Yeah.
running on iPad Pro, et cetera, et cetera. So it seems like a natural fit.
I do wonder if Microsoft will have anything else to announce there. I can't imagine them doing anything major, but
Right.
I wonder if Microsoft and Samsung have some other things up there.
Like new software or something unique to the Note or to Samsung.
Yeah, or maybe even another device. I don't know. Like, I mean,
Well,
it's
okay.
we'll see. I mean, could be where Samsung also unveils a lot of their back to school stuff. Well, not back to school, but their holiday stuff. And Microsoft obviously is a pretty big player there with them. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught this. There was a rumor earlier in the Android Q beta process where someone had uncovered a desktop environment,
Mm-hmm.
and it would seem kind of a weird thing. Like, why would Google do this, given that they already have a desktop environment called Chrome, and they
Yep.
don't really know what are they doing? So apparently, Google recently explained that this was just there for developers, and I guess the point was if you only had an Android device tethered to your computer that you were developing software on, you had no real way to experience how your app would respond in a desktop-sized environment, like with a bigger screen, and that's why they did it. But that kind of made me. I'm reminded of this because you were talking about Samsung and Microsoft. These are the two companies that have had some kind of a continuum-like software, DeX in Samsung's case, where you can have a desktop running when you attach your phone to a dock or a large screen keyboard, et cetera, et cetera. So. Some kind of a partnership along there would be kind of interesting. And because there is this kind of background desktop capability in Android, maybe Microsoft could bring, I don't know, a Windows kind of desktop.
Yeah.
It's a phone when you're out in the world and it's a Windows PC when you're docked instead of an Android PC.
Mm-hmm. I'd also think it'd be super interesting if they showed off potentially Windows on ARM on their Xenos. Is that, I believe, how you pronounce it?
The processor?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what it's called. You're talking about the Samsung one.
Yeah, because Samsung makes ARM chips, obviously.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not sure what it's called.
Yeah, so we will see. And I believe that is happening Wednesday. Does that sound about right?
I know it's this week, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll be completely out of it by the time this happens. But yes, sometime this week.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll probably find a way to get on a plane because that's it's pretty much your marching orders right there is to get on a plane when things are happening. Yeah, I mean, there was the other thing too, very random. This was actually on Friday, but we had enough to talk about it or whatever. I just kind of forgot. Surface Go is now officially a year old.
Oh boy.
And guess how much Microsoft is still selling it for? the same price.
Oh boy.
You think maybe a nice little price cut there might be in line?
Yeah, it's too little computer for too much money.
Yeah. The other thing too is, as I was playing around with it again, is it's kind of interesting to see how far Windows 10 has strayed from being a touch first UI. It's really kind of bad.
Like as a tablet, you mean?
Yeah, because the $549 Surface Go, which I have here without a keyboard, I was trying to use it that way without a keyboard, and I was like, ooh.
Right.
And then I have a brand new iPad sitting next to it that I paid less money for. It would be less money for that. And I was like, oh, yay. Yeah.
It's not good.
No. So there you go. You got anything else for today, Mr. Paul Thurant?
Do I have anything else? Not really. I have today's Stephen Bing Software Museum entry. This is Windows on 5.25 inch floppies. Huh?
To the youths out there, that's the really old floppies.
That's not a compact disc.
Yeah.
That's a floppy.
Is that 1.44?
So this is a high density 1.2 megabyte disk. I think 1.44 was the high density 3.5.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
Remember, it was because it was 720 and then 1.44. So these must have been 600 kilobytes in non-high density. I didn't open this particular box. Unfortunately, is kind of wrecked, but this is the one that came. Back in the day, because mice were so new, Microsoft used to include its mouse with the product. In fact, the first Microsoft mouse was sold with the first version of Microsoft Word for Windows, which was a DOS application.
Yep.
The idea was to get people used to that.
Yeah.
Kind of environment.
You should just open all his software and be like, hey, you got all this unopened software around here. I just want to take a look.
Actually, maybe tomorrow I'll show you this because he has he contacted me and he said because I had made a joke about the iPhones back there and I
Hmm.
said something like he has every iPhone ever made, but he actually does have every iPhone ever made. So in a trunk on the other side, which you can probably barely see behind the chair there,
Oops, wrong button.
is a it's okay is some is like an iPhone collection.
Hmm.
It's like the actual phones, and he does have the first iPhone. That's the only one. That's one of the few things I've kept. I do
Hmm.
have the original iPhone still somewhere. That was the one that was, and it's funny how they're teeny. They're like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
compared to this phone, like a big phone, they're like this big, like they're
Yep.
tiny. So if I think of it, I'll bring that one out tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, that'd be nice. And then you head home on Friday,
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, so I'll be out Thursday, and then I should be able
Okay.
to do the live show Friday if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Just a fair warning to our friends listening, and I'll tell Paul why later. It's nothing major. Tomorrow's show might be non-existent or delayed. We'll see. We'll see. My kid. I have to take my kid somewhere in the morning, and I don't
Mhm.
know when I'm going to be back.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
cool. You got anything else, Paul? Before we shut it down?
No.
Awesome. All right, folks. That wraps it up for today. Be on the lookout for some more Samsung news in the near future, and we'll catch all of you right back here next time.